Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Here we have the plumbing to our 1973 Hall Grand Touring coach. Here, I'll put a picture right here in between these seconds. There's pause right here so you can see what kind of truck it is. What kind of RV. It's a... Okay, so here it is. So I've been having problems with the fuel system on this one. The previous owner cut some lines out, did their own rigging, and it was a disaster. Been learning over the process. This is like the third iteration, and hopefully it will be the final one. It has two tanks, one in the rear, one on the side. The main tank is about 26 to 27 gallons, and the reserve is about 7 or 8 gallons. And so there's two tanks that are, one of them, the original one, the reserve is original, and the main tank is brand new. But I've been having issues with, and I think I found the problem. The problem was I didn't have this little valve here, which is a gate valve, not a gate valve, I'm sorry, a check valve. So I think I was getting air from the generator area, and it was creating it wasn't siphoning air, fuel from the main tank. Anyways, here I'm gonna go to this diagram right now that I've drawn for you, so you can check out exactly how the setup is in a diagram, and then I'll come back to this and I'll explain what I've had in the diagram. See you in a bit. Okay guys, so here is the diagram I made to help understand the overall schematic design of the fueling system in my Dodge Hall Grand Touring coach. And here it is. So we have our main, our reserve, both feeding the lines, each of them with a glass filter. They're both 5/16. And then here there's a T, and from here the generator takes fuel from the main tank. But I put this little check valve right here to keep the fuel pump here from sucking air from over here. I don't want it to be running and then suck all the fuel from this line here and then starve the engine from fuel. So I put a check valve right there that should close when this is running and not pull any fuel. Now the only problem that I haven't done yet is if this is running and this is trying to run while I'm driving, or I have to charge the batteries or something, I have a feeling this is going to be a problem, but we'll find out. Might have to put an electrical or a manual valve right here, or I can put it even closer to the generator, put a little shut off valve right there, but we'll see. For now we're going to run with this, and here's the electrical switch that selects either the reserve or the main fuel tank. And then here's the main priming electrical fuel pump that I've just installed brand new. I ran it last night, and man, it's a really nice strong pump. It's 11 psi, a little bit high for the engine. I might put a regulator, but since it's a priming pump, I don't really care for it right now because I'm not going to be running this pump for the engine. The engine has its own pump, fuel pump, mechanical pump. So that'll be the one running the show over here. I'm thinking I might put another check valve right before the mechanical pump, just to keep maybe not having to use this so much. The fuel will always stay in its place, but we'll see. Only time will tell on that. But for now, we're just going to stick to this a little bit simpler. I don't want to add more things that I already have. So yeah, that's the main design of the main schematic of the whole fuel system. Obviously, this is probably not going to be the last iteration of this, but I'll keep you guys posted. And I mean, I hope this is, pretty straightforward. I'm trying to stay away from using more electrical switch valves and mechanical stuff. Just trying to keep it simple. Simple, but analog, just easy to follow. I mean, the reason why I like these glass filters here is because I can see what's going on in each of these fuel pumps, these lines. I will be putting a shroud to protect the glass, or maybe even putting some kind of sleeve over so it doesn't get like a rock chip and break my glass filters. So I'll be doing that on here, because I'm afraid that something might happen on the road. Knowing my luck, these will get burst. I have a spare that I'm gonna be carrying to connect that. I also have extra fuel line in my spare kit, so that I can do any repairs on the road. You gotta always carry extra rubber hoses, because the ethanol in today's fuel always eats up the fuel line pretty quickly. So always carry fuel line with you. With today's fuel, if you're not using like a plastic, some tubing or metal tubing, the rubbers are prone to being to rotting away, basically, in a pretty quick time. Anyhow, I'm gonna go back to the video now, describing the pieces installed on the rig, so you can kind of follow now that you've seen this and understand the entire process and the actual mechanical pieces that I installed. I ended up using a lot of clamps. It's about 20 clamps in this whole setup. But it is what it is. Just always carry extra clamps, and always check your clamps every once in a while, making sure everything is nice and tight. Don't over tighten them, just snug, and that should be enough. Anyhow, the video's gonna start now, showing you guys the actual pieces. Okay, so we're back. Hope you got an understanding of the overall design and schematic of the system. So here, this fuel filter, this line, it goes all the way to the back, is the main tank, and this here is your secondary line, your reserve tank, which is 7 gallons. So I've been having issues trying to figure out which one was sucking fuel, which one was empty, and so I put these two pre-filters. There's another one in the front, another filter in the front, right by the carburetor, to clean up last minute like debris that gets through these. But anyhow, so these are the two lines coming in, supplying all the fuel. This is a switch valve between the two tanks, and this generator on this one this is the generator fuel pump here that came original with the truck, with the RV, and this is the T, so it takes fuel from the main tank. And I'm not messing with the reserve, because I want that one to just always stay full, and in case we exhaust this one, I still have over 200 miles off of this one reserve tank. So I teed it off, and I put a check valve here, so that when this main fuel pump, I'm using this as a primer pump, it's not sucking air from behind the all the way to the back. So I put a check valve here. These are from Amazon, little, I think they were like $6 off of Amazon. And this one, it's a carbureted, I think it's activated at like 1.5 psi, and I think the max is about 9 psi that these react to. or it might be more. I'm not sure. I'll see if I can find the specs, and later on I'll put it in the thing here. Anyhow, this is the switch valve between tanks, and this is the primary pump that I'm using. It's an electric pump, and it's got its own filter, but you know, I figured this is another line of defense prior to that fuel pump. This one was about $157 off of Napa. I've heard great reviews. 2 people that had recommended this pump. They're kind of shaped in very similar design and very similar package as the SU pumps that the British vehicles have. So I'll probably be running these in my Land Rover really soon. So we'll see. I haven't used it yet. I just finished the whole rerouting and plumbing of everything. The main piece was trying to find these. There was one there was a check valve at O'Reilly's. It was like $40. I got it, and then it was way too difficult to open just by blowing air through it. So I decided to read up on it, and it sounded like people were saying that it was junk. So I went on Amazon and I read really good reviews on this little check valve. We'll see. We'll have to maybe make an update on all this whole schematic, this whole plumbing, and see how it runs and how it all turns out. But anyhow, I've taken off some of the wiring nuts. I put some more clean connections in I can now disconnect these if I need to service them a lot easier, and I'm not using electrical tape and all whatnot. So anyways, everything's nice and tidy in a way. I'll be making a shield over this whole exhaust piece here to keep some of the heat away from the main both of the fuel pumps. Actually, I mean, they're quite close, and if you get a drip, the last thing you want is for it to land on the exhaust. So I'll be making a shield. I got some exhaust brackets just like these, and I'll just probably get an aluminum sheet and either bend it or just leave it the way it is. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. But for now, I gotta make sure this whole plumbing is working correctly. And yeah, so anyways, so here it is. Here's the setup. By the way, these are all, you can find all of these at O'Reilly's or Napa. They're 5/16. And don't forget to make sure that you read on the side right here. It'll say out and then in. So make sure that you have them in the right orientation so that it filters nicely. And yeah, so that's it. I'll get back to you guys on an update after I run it, and hopefully, by the way, this is just a primary pump. I'm using it as a primary or a backup, but it does have a mechanical fuel pump at the engine. That one's brand new as well. So if that one fails, I have this one to run off of the system. So hopefully I won't have to rely on this all the time. It's just for primary. And then this one, this one's also facet. So hopefully I'll be able to change this one soon. This is the original pump. It looks okay. It pumps well, but it doesn't hurt to replace it and then just keep it as a spare. So anyways, enough about this whole thing. So I'll just get back to you soon on what the update is, and see how it goes. Talk to you guys soon.